Interesting. And the kid says he always takes pictures of the final blow. Indeed, which is why I said earlier he probably took a picture. I was just wondering at first, like, if he saw it, how did he get into Studio One? He doesn't have a card. But he saw the killing outside when he was coming through from the woods. And the grate was probably off, sewer grate, so he couldn't have come in that way. So who used the sewer grate? Someone else who came in that way, took the costume, killed the guy, then left that way. You had me muted for a bit? Ah. Phoenix versus Edgy Boy. Okay. I'm just looking at the time and wondering if we should take another break. Now let's move through. Let's carry on. Still got 20 minutes. I'm thinking I might finish a bit early though, because my throat's getting a bit dry again. Alright, Wolfman. Mr. Wright. Yes. Why do you look so unhappy? Well, I got bad news. How do you like electric chairs? Oh, nothing. Really, it's nothing. Do you want to voice Phoenix and Iron can voice Edgeworth? Cool. Right, Mia? He's obviously the Monkey King. No, I think he's a Wolfman. But I would think that. You know, I'm a wolf, so... I mean, he kind of has a Wolverine look. Which, I mean, the Wolverine isn't really a wolf, but, you know... They're closer related... I think they're more closely related to bears? I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, she looks even unhappier. Phoenix, your client is now practically a dead man walking. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. This is no time for dead jokes, please. My thoughts are wrong. No, but I think I'm right. Explain that. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Will Powers reminds you of a lion of some sort? I guess as well, yeah, he's got kind of a mane, yeah. Yet, if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked. We have to find something, Phoenix, today. It's that or lose the trial. This isn't going to be easy. Yeah, what do we have that we can really push against? We've got the sleeping pills, but we have no idea that they were used on him. No proof at all. The blocked path as well. Clock. Does kind of support the theory, but I bet there's going to be something about that that we can kind of press against. The court is now in session for the trial of Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honour, and so is the defence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Please begin your spiel of bullshit. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday we learned that there were other people present at the studios. Today I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I wonder if it'll be the producer. The prosecution calls Mr. Salmonella to the stand. Or the director. I mean, you had a 1 in 3 chance of being right there. You still say Sun Wukong. Oh yeah. Will the witness state his name and profession? How rude can you get? You don't know me, I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai, noob, Roffle. Edgeworth's gonna need a vacation after this trial. God, these animations are great. Salmonella, I'm a director, television. If you were at Global Studios, you were at the Global Studios on the day of the murder? Yes, Your Honour. Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of the day. Phoenix, let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trial on the day did it. Right. She doesn't waste any time putting on the pressure. Yeah, it's going to be something about... You know, there's going to be a discrepancy between the testimonies. We didn't know about the fallen tree blocking the way from like 2:15 onwards until after we spoke to the producer. This guy didn't say anything about that. He just said they were in the meeting all day. But he might tell us something like, oh yeah, I had to step out real quick. We'll see. I was at the studio from 9 that morning. That checks. During the morning, we were doing an action scene run-through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I heard everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. Okay, he just skipped over a whole bunch of shit. He said he heard it took a lot longer than they thought it would, so he wasn't there for the full thing. I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer. I ended up skipping lunch, so they didn't eat. But there were 2 plates there. We were in the meeting until around 4. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. That's about it. Yeah, they were in the meeting from noon, and then everyone ate lunch, and then at 1 o'clock the victim headed to Studio 1, and the security guard followed along afterwards to take up her post. At the time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30, and according to your testimony you were in the meeting all that time. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. That's it, yeah, did they really skip lunch? We don't know. I mean, he said he was like, oh, they had T-bones and I really wanted one. And we know that the plates in the War Is It were not T-bone steaks. Because there's no bones on the plate. So, I was at the studio from 9 that morning. Is that when you always come to work? Oh, no, I come in at all sorts of hours, it's the industry way. Yeah, I know all about the freaks in your industry. And you're the freakiest freak I ever had the freaky pleasure to freakily lay my freak eyes on. Freaking hell. Still, FWIW, I was pretty busy all that day. Thawak! Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you. How's life? How's everything going? Hope you're well. Tell us more about that. During the morning I was doing an action scene run-through, okay. In the employee area? That's right. There was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. Was anyone else at the run-through? Oh, yeah, the security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing, lol. I hate this guy. A bit sickly today, oh no. Hope you feel better soon. Hope it doesn't become something big. I'm doing good, thank you very much, although I've had this horrible throat for a while. I probably shouldn't be reading a game out loud, but I was thinking I might break a bit early today, so I might go a little bit longer and then get out of here. Anyway, so she was cheering Hammer on, if you can believe it. She certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else? Nope, just us 4. Yeah, that checks out as well, because the props girl was mostly doing organisation stuff elsewhere. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. Then let someone voice act. I know. It's not easy to do though. With a stream delay as well and everything. I hear that everyone else ate lunch at the employee area. Yeah, they skipped right over there. It took a lot more time than we thought it would. Why is that? Why did it go on so long? I'm pretty sure you've already heard about this. But WP twisted his ankle during the run-through, see? Right, thus the limp. Which of course led me to miss my lunch. Roths. Roths rolling on the floor starving. So we heard everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. Yes. What exactly did they have for lunch? T-bone steak. Assistant cooks them up. God, I hate this guy. Come to think of it, there was a plate with some bones on it at the employee area. Everyone else, meaning the witness, did not eat with them. But I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, we ended up skipping lunch. So in the end, you didn't get to eat. Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it? That must have been tough. Phoenix, yeah? Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? It's contradictory. Now that you mention it. Mr. Manella? What do you want, Sweat? When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the tables there. There were 2 plates. The same kind of plates as the ones in the employee area, so they belong to the studio. Who ate lunch there? Good call, Sweats. I was embarrassed, so I didn't mention it. But I did eat after all. A T-bone steak, you mean? Bullshit! Gotcha. Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer thinking I could eat it later. Clearly a man who likes to eat, I'd suspect as much. So when exactly did you eat it? We took 1 break during that meeting. I wolfed it down then. Drool. A mental image I will carry with me to my grave. Wait a second. If they took a break, then that contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that one a bit more. But do I have to press this again? Let's double check. Alright, no. Okay, we're just repeating this again. Usually the game would say let's amend the testimony and start again. We were in the meeting until around 4, so this contradicts the testimony if he went to go get lunch. It's like, so when did you get it? What were you discussing? The Steel Samurai story and our budget? Get this, the sponsors turn to me and say, Mr. Manella, those scripts of yours are not appropriate for children. Can you believe it? Actually, I kind of can. So nobody left the table during the whole meeting. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. Let's just double check. So, can we present something? Hey, wait a minute. I think we already have the picture of the final blow, the one outside in the pathway. It's going to be in the scrapbook, isn't it? He will have already put it in there, no doubt. Alright, but you didn't take a single break. Well, yeah. Not a one, Sweats. Well, obviously, we just contradicted that. If only I had an idea. Wait a second, maybe I do have an idea. Press harder. You just said they took a break. Wait a second. Mr. Manella, you just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the court that you ate a T-bone steak during the break? Oh, oops, Ruffle. Well... Mr. Manella, what's this all about? Well, yeah, I guess we did take a little break. Phoenix, great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to the studio during that time. Your Honor, I call on the witness to testify to the court about the break. Very well. Mr. Manella, your testimony, please. And then the timing's not going to add up. I'm calling it now. He's going to say, oh yeah, well, we ate about 3 o'clock or something like that. We're like, oh, you couldn't have. Irk. Uh-oh, Edgeworth is laughing. Hey, old school, but what is Ruffle? Rolling on the floor laughing. The break. Yeah, for what it's worth, we took a break, Rothel. But it was only 15 minutes. 15 minutes, that's only 13 in base 12. Nobody gives a shit about your weird mathematical stuff. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio 1, lol. That's weird. Why would you put it that way? That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. Steams. I don't like steamed steak, it's awful. I don't think it would be even enough time for that, but that's just me. I mean, look at this guy. This guy would just literally, like, put the whole thing in his mouth and pull the bone out clean. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. So, for what it's worth, you took a break. Okay, cool. When? What time exactly did you take the break? I'd say it was from around 2:30 or 2:45. So, how did you get the steak there? Told you. 2:30? That's the time of death. So he could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer and come back. Yeah, but he would have had to squeeze into that costume and all that shit, right? I guess it's possible time-wise. So he's lying about having eaten lunch if he did that. He just came with empty plates and left them there to stage it. But it was only 15 minutes. 15, that's only 13 in base 12. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my T-bone steak, what else? There were 2 plates on the table. Oh, right, the other one was D. Vasquez's plates. Okay, D. Vasquez is the producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes, that's quite a feat. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio 1, lol. Wait, what? Why is that? Haven't we had enough of this pointless line of questioning, Your Honour? The testimony to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with the murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Surely you aren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1. Well, Mr. Wright, Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. Do you claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1? Okay, hang on. It is impossible, though, because he is lying about having had the lunch at 2:30ish. It is impossible for them to have actually gone there. I mean, we're trying to get the guy to trip up on this, right? We're not trying to prove that he did eat a T-bone steak. We're trying to prove he didn't. It was impossible. I don't want to write off so many possible suspects. But I can't keep claiming the impossible either. I agree, it was impossible for anyone in the trailer to go to the studio in that time. Haha! I thought you might be thoughtlessly treading on thin ice again. But I see you had at least an inkling of the truth. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? It's quite simple. True. The break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mrs. Monkeyhead barred the way. Around 2:15, a strong gust of wind knocked the studio mascot's head off. Ergo, when the people in the trailer took the break at 2:30, the way to the studio was blocked. So how did they get their steaks? Blocked by Mrs. Monkey's severed head. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but I thought it was, but Edgeworth has a point. I was thinking Mrs. Monkey? Wasn't it Mr.? And somehow I feel no desire to correct him. I believe we've seen enough evidence. I would like to relieve Mr. Manila from the stand. What? It's over? I haven't finished cross-examining yet. Very well, the court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it's also clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that day. All that's lacking is decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce we indeed have decisive evidence, a witness. Who is this witness, Mr. Edgeworth? My witness saw the very moment the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. Order. I will have order. I see. The court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned for recess. That didn't really go very well. I don't know if we did something wrong there. But it is right, they couldn't have gone. The guy was lying about having lunch, or at least he said he had T-bones, but there was no bones on the plate. And that never came up. Very weird. I don't know if maybe we screwed something up there. What do we do now, Mia? Everyone in that trailer has an alibi. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Mia? Don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Don't get me wrong. I've never given up on a trial before, not when there was a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio One. I thought there was more to it than that, but I was wrong. That's all there is. What's going to happen to me? Kinda seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you're innocent, we will prove it guaranteed. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, hero to children everywhere after all. Oh gee, thanks. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it. Alright. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. World Powers. The prosecution has a concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of tender years, and this is a murder case, we worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with his cruel questioning. Go fuck yourself, Edgeworth. Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground. However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Can we get a box for this kid to stand on, please? Yeah, there we go. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange a box for him to stand on? Oh, right. Guard, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. They get crates of donuts. What's up, kiddo? Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness? What? Just because you're all grown up doesn't mean you can push me around. He's thinking, fuck, I hate this case. I want it to be a case where Wright has to defend Edgeworth. Oh god, that would be so awesome if there is. I'd love it. Cody, answer his questions, okay? Oh hey, it's you, the nice lady. The one with big boobs. I'm Cody Hackins, I'm in 2nd grade. I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle. Witness, I mean Cody. He's having trouble with the gentle thing, and the name. As always, he always seems to have trouble with names. You were present at the Global Studios on the day of the incident? You got a problem with that? Could they let him bring his sword in? Nice. Probably made of plastic, though. Please tell us what you saw that day. What, Pops? You want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just Mr. Edgeworth. I prefer bearded judge, blah blah blah. Very long day. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in the courtroom. My apologies, Your Honor. He said he wouldn't testify if he couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid and you lost? Oh, Edgeworth. Hey, I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it that good yet, but I bring it with me wherever I go. Phoenix? I wonder if we had that camera on him the day of the murder. Thank you for catching up to us all there. Yes. You better make a note of that in the court record. Cody's camera. Nice. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the day of the incident. I wanted to see the Steel Samurai rehearsal just once. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods off the path so that old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I got kind of lost on the way though for about 30 minutes. When I came out by the studio, not in it, there was the Steel Samurai. It totally rocked. Right before my eyes came the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down, pow. If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you, so he didn't get one. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Interesting, we found a body in the studio. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination, but be gentle, remember you're talking to a child. This kid is tougher than most of the adults we see in here, honestly. That includes old Windbag, whatever her name was. Old Bag.